back at you, episode 2. We got the deadlift today. Head coach, manager Zach Jones,
Coach Bo.
Coach Bo, Coach Bro, whatever you want to call him. Hey, doing deadlift today. So we're gonna just touch on standards. We're gonna go over like setup, proper lowering, how to finish the deadlift, and then just some little tips and tricks to help you out throughout. Let's get after it. Okay, so the standard for the deadlift is the bar starts on the ground and it finishes knees, hips, extended, shoulders behind the bar. Okay, that is the standard for the deadlift. It's finished once you get to the top of that deadlift. Boom. Let's go ahead and show just the standard. Yeah, that's good. So boom, stand all the way up, squeeze. That's it. That's the standard. I like to come up and I set my feet first. So if I'm going to take a step and jump, that's where I want my feet. Okay, so every time I pretend like I'm going to come up and I'm about to jump. Sets my feet. Then I set my hand. I'm about right outside the hips, which is about a thumb's distance away. You can either do mixed grip or double overhand grip. It doesn't matter. The big thing here is to build up as much tension as you can. So a lot of people treat it like they're lifting dead weight. I want you to think of it more like a standing leg press. So as we get here, we're going to pull ourselves down. Okay, you can see he's got this nice flat back here. He's built up. He's pulling his lats active. So he's pretty much like this bar is pretty much about to hover just because of all the tension he's pulling himself down into that position. Go ahead and relax. We're going to go over the angles here of his shins and everything too. Some people like to set up and then they squat a little more excessively than they need to at the beginning. So go ahead and get into that squat stance where people like to go. So you can see here, he's squatting down. His knees are kind of over the bar and his shoulders actually a little bit behind the bar. We don't want this. We want to lift those hips up just a little bit so shoulders are over the bar, create this nice triangle with the hips and the bar. Go ahead and relax. After that tension is all built up, we're not going to let those arms really move once we start driving. So you want to think bar and hips are going to rise at the same time. All you're doing is standing up. Okay, so go ahead and set up again. Gets his proper setup. He's pulling himself down, creating tension. Then he's going to drive to that midfoot to heel, straight up. Boom, squeezes the butt at the top. As we lower, I want you to think, go right into that good morning. So go right into that bow. Go in that bow. And then once you get to the knees, it's like a little quarter squat. Once you get past the knees, boom. So as soon as you get past those knees, I want you to think, squeeze the butt, flex the quads, stand up fast. Boom. What you don't want to see is this little drop and then go into it. Yeah. What that's going to do is it's going to load your hip flexors. You have a lot of reps in the workout. It's going to blow up that whole low back. Okay. It's going to fill up with blood. Once it does that, there's nothing that you can do really other than rest it and kind of recover that way. If you also have a lot of high reps, we're going to teach you the using the ground versus bouncing. Okay. Bouncing is not allowed. Using the ground is allowed. So you can keep those arms nice and straight. And as you lower, I want you to think, keep these shoulders pulled back. Okay. So we're going to do just a normal speed one on this one. So go ahead and deadlift up. So when you come back down, try not to let the shoulders round. So do the shoulders rounding thing. Boom. Okay. So come back up, do a little less obvious. So think like as you lower, the shoulders kind of sag there. We don't want that. We want to keep that tension in those shoulders, in those lats. So it's just that bow into that little quarter squat. Boom. Okay, so now we're going to do a couple bounce reps. Do the bounce ones. Yeah, see how he breaks at the elbow, uses the ground? Can't do that. What you can do is keep the arms straight and tight and squat down into that ground hard as long as those elbows don't bend. When you finish the deadlift, is the other thing is we don't want to have this excessive lean back. So all that's going to do is compress the low spine, okay, and it's also going to blow up your low back. So once we get to that finished locked out position, we just want to squeeze. We're locked in. Our shoulders are already going to be behind the bar because we're already in that standing straight phase, okay? And then once you get to the top, in CrossFit, you can drop it, okay? You don't have to control it down to the ground. Powerlifting, you do have to control it down to the ground. That's how they grade you from controlling from top to the bottom. So if you want to be in that habit of doing that, you guys can do that. That's fine. So here we're going to go ahead and deadlift that bar up. Once you get past the knee squeeze, boom. And he can drop. Boom, just drop it from the top. Boom, you can be done there. Okay. Another one will lower it to the ground. So if it's your last rep, you can kind of just follow it down. Boom, done. So that's the deadlift. If you guys have any other tips or tricks that work for you, go ahead and drop them in the comments. If you have some things that you have questions on, also drop them in the comments. That's episode 2, Between the Ergs.
Like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. See ya.